Hi, welcome on the Frontend Architecture channel. My today's guest is Adam. Adam is software engineer and consultant, and he specializes in business systems. Together we'll be doing a code review. Hi, Adam.
Hello. Yeah, just to explain one thing, I was approached by someone I didn't know before. Just if I can review that code, and I saw a few interesting things that then I realized that it could be really great to make it like publicly, and we can have some common view on that. Because if one person is reviewing the code, that's one style. But then if people review the same code with similar experience of development, that can go funny, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're doing this first time, so we'll see where we'll go with that. And yeah, we had different experience. We work on different projects. I'm working on software parts, so my experience is different. Adam was working mostly on product development. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's worth to mention that at some point of seniority, there's like a trap because people start to have opinions, like very strong opinions, and you can see us fighting because I really believe that this should be that way, and other side can think that should be a different way. And sometimes when you don't get to the consensus, it means that there is something behind this that really separates you. I mean, sometimes is you cannot argue on something because there's a root cause that you disagree on, and sometimes it's about going to the like foundations, to the values. So maybe we will try to build a list of values that we have in common, or we don't share, but this having this list of values will help any team to make sure that similar decisions are taken in similar contexts, not discussing every single point. Like your team doesn't need to have a list of every edge case, every situation, every issue, and how to solve it. Your team should build a list of generic values that then you can extract best practices, but the values have to be the same. So I encourage you to make a list of values, to build list of values that your team is believing in, let's say, and we will try to build the same, to not spend time on discussing things that are different on the very roots, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that's right. That's a great idea, and I would add one thing to that what you already mentioned is very often we are discussing about things which are not important from code perspective. Yeah, let's take an example like if should we use four spaces or two spaces. Yeah, in most projects though this kind of decisions are not very important. You can configure some linters to pass it, and you can write code in your own styles, then run one command and problem disappeared. Yeah, so you should focus on more important things like code quality, not like if this is formatted like this or that. Yeah, because it's very subjective, and and the truth is that every person will have different opinion on that, and you never agree on common in that matter.
If you want to know my take from it, I received in my career a lot of pull requests that in one team from a specific person, let's say, that it was all the time pointing to the very specific code style thing. It was related to having extra space between statements, between test cases in the test file. And I saw the person commenting in my one pull request 8 times, eight code comments, like add new space, add new space, add new space. And this is something that you have some habits, or you don't someone sometimes care about adding the space, but there's a disagreement in the team. But on this level, I encourage to have the rule, like if something can be automated, like a new line between test cases, do it and forget. So if there's a reason that you didn't automate this code lint thing, if there's a reason, stop mentioning that on pull request. This is my own rule, that yeah, we shouldn't repeat the things that we already can handle automatically, and either do it and have a linter rule that will do that, or don't ask about for that to manually fix it, right?
Mm, yeah, but if going on test, not always it's possible. Maybe we'll go. I don't want to
If
go.
something can be automated.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, and first of all, you should agree like a whole team. Yeah, all members should agree that okay, we'll do things like that, because if you don't, then you will have like a different opinions. Yeah, one person will say okay, add additional new line here, but another person will say I don't want it. Yeah, for me it's more reliable. And if you don't have like if you don't write those rules and agree on those rules, then it's very hard to have common code base that
Yeah.
will be that every team members will feel that it's own, that it's theirs. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm approached by people asking me if start components is better, or CSS modules, or whatever else. And in general, I answer like everything is good as long as you have, your team level decision and everyone is okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because oh, you have to know that there is no in web, in general, in
Black and
programming.
white, right?
Yeah. Nothing is black and white, or there is no the best solution for everything. Yeah, it's everything is related to the context. In one project, this specific solution will be the best, but for another one, well, probably not, because you have a different team, different people, maybe uh, more experiences, less experienced, and so on. Yeah, it's so everything depends on the context, on the and on the project that you are working on. So the same, yeah. Even us will be giving you some advices. So don't take it as a granted. Think about it. If it will fit to your project, maybe not.
Exactly. About the
Uh,
code review, I
mhm.
received the application, so I think that the best way to do it, it will be, to onboard ourselves to the application
Yep.
without help with the author, from the author. Let's see how this can, look from the situation when you left, the company or whatever, and then someone else have to join your project, and then there are a lot of questions and there is no person to answer, and let's try to see how this can work. And I have an idea to not only mention the problems, but let's try to fix them on the fly, do some refactoring, some fixes, and then go to the next issue to find the new one, right? And that's the thing. The thing worth to mention as well is that the person that sent it to me, let's say he is like self-learner, so already gained a lot of knowledge from different places, but wanted to stabilize it a bit to have some experienced developer, assessment from single point, not from a lot of points in the web, right?
Okay, so I think we can start. I will switch to the code. Maybe first we'll show you how this application looks like. So you can see the screen right now. Adam is presenting. So yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, this is.
So
I think
so
this is login screen. Yes, some
yeah.
kind of. You have to log in.
Yeah, I know the application. I already saw it, but now when I started, I am approached by the login screen, and I have one thing to say. I used to see people doing the login screen. It's like either it's a very first thing you do, and you don't have time to do anything else. And especially on bootcamps, I saw people in projects. They really work, burn hours to make the perfect login screen, and then there is no time to do features. And sometimes it's like you forget about you don't do login screen, and then you do the minimum thing in the login screen at the end. So this looks like just work. It doesn't have some layout. So I think we can ignore it. We don't need
Yeah,
to do
exactly.
anything about that, right? It's just
Maybe I
text
would
work, right?
just add like some kind of list that is login screen, like a yeah. But Okay, you can understand it.
Yeah, the only thing I am worried is the role of this highlightation in the row,
Yeah,
because I see it's like a thing to click. Let's see what is the nature of this element. Let's see. This is P, right? P element. Inside P we have, okay, so P has some style that,
can you? Yeah.
let me
Okay.
switch this somehow. Yeah, here. Okay, so why, okay, there's a transition and there should be some cursor, right? Pointer.
I try to add a hover
Pointer.
there.
There's a pointer, look.
I think there is some kind of hover on this effect. If you add hover,
Yeah, let's try to force
attribute.
state, right? Force
Yes.
state hover. Yeah.
Yep.
So look, there's a tree node is CSS, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the tree node has a global style rule, right? Selector. So even if the tree node, this is some component probably used in the application, but typically we don't forget about that our selectors are global. So this was, I think this was not intentional, right? This was like
Yep.
side effect of having global hover thing, right? So maybe we'll fix it later, because when we maybe we'll use CSS modules for that, or just make sure that we scope this with some class name or whatever.
Yeah, and
Let's, yeah.
and the question is it should it be here, or is it side effort, or
This is
code
what
where, yeah,
this is what I said.
yeah.
Tree node. This is a style written for a specific component. We will see
Okay,
which
yeah.
one, and the file is not. It's global. It's not a module.
Okay,
CSS module.
yeah.
So it's like a CSS file which has global selector. So this is unintended. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So
you're right.
we should try. What could be the possible solution? Maybe have some prefix for all the things here, right? In maybe this is SCSS. So SCSS has ability to nest selectors, to nest rules. So don't forget to fix it when we approach the tree node component.
Yeah, and you have to also remember that if you are studying things like A tag, P tag, or div tag globally, then all rules be applied globally. Yeah, and you have to be careful about that.
Yeah, and also
Maybe
maybe
add some kind of class name or ID for this specific element if you would like to study it individually.
usually the nature of the element, like if it's a paragraph or div, it is not a good thing to identity element on the screen, because sometimes you change it from P to div because some reason, and you forget that there's a style match, and now you don't see your style, and you have some dead style not used. So I think it ideally would be to identify element by at least class name. I think there are other things to address by, but not the element itself, right? It works for
Yeah.
very small screens, for very small applications. Then you have only few elements on the page. Let's try to sign
Yeah.
up, right? Or sign in, right? Yeah.
Oh, a sign up is centered here. Okay.
This is centered, and there is some. I think this is only because of this unintended style overlap.
Yeah, but this not count yet is even no visible. So
Yeah.
maybe there is also additional error
Yeah,
here.
we will go back to the login screen after we fix the
Yeah.
scope of the styles in the tree node component.
Yeah. Let's not spend too much time
Yeah.
on it.
Okay, so let's log in. Cool. So what we have here, some top bar with some user credentials,
Yeah,
right?
it's a list, but what kind of list? Email, name, ID, post ID.
So,
Oh,
okay, look, we have some routing here. It will help us to understand what's going on there. I see some layout issues, but we can tackle it later on. This looks like it's like a tree.
Can you expand this element with the last one with email icon? Is there any name in it? Like a
Removed.
no. Aha, this remove should be
Yeah.
okay here.
I
Okay.
think there's a layout issue. Let's see what happens when we navigate this.
Okay, I thought that this label remove is yeah. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, let's close this even. Look, there is some. I think this element grows with the container size, which is connected to the viewport size somehow, right? So so let's see. Yeah, because if I manipulate this, it affects onto the left side. So yeah, I think there's some work to fix the column layout. Let's see what is the main okay, this is a left column, the right column
Yeah.
with percentage width.
Yeah, this is position
60%.
This is position absolute. Yeah, that's why it's overlapping because
exactly. And what's else? This is absolute position. So it removes the flow, and the other things on the page wouldn't be visible at all. Okay, so I think without going into details, I guess that we should work maybe on fixing the layout, because there's no point, I guess there's no point to make it absolute, right? So what you can have here, this is like the items container, and it contains two columns. So what we can put here?
And we have display flags.
No, you don't have display flags. Oh, there is a display flags, but this is as position absolute.
Yeah.
So this is flex and it isn't flex, right? Contains flex, but children don't play with flex.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like disabling it, yeah? Basically.
So let's try to see what happens if we remove position absolute. Okay. It works better.
Yeah.
But still...
try to remove this left value from both divs.
Left?
Yeah, left. You have
where is left?
Left column. Second.
Okay, but why it's here?
Because I think it's not used because you have flex layout, but yeah, I will.
But it's not position relative. Left works with the position. If I remember CSS, left works with the either absolute or a relative position and fixed. And if normal flow, it doesn't change anything. Okay, so now also let's think about width.
I would use flat grow. Yeah,
let's
here.
Scroll, let's scroll. Flex. Grow. And this one is also is okay. This should be fixed, right?
Why fixed?
Like fixed size. Fixed size.
So maybe max width.
Max width. And then 200. Or 300. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there's some padding here as well. Padding. Okay, this padding can be like this. Padding left. I think maybe the author wanted to center it on the page. We don't know the requirements here. Remember that. Let's say that this person left the company, so you don't remember requirements. You don't have mocks in Figma or any other design tool. You only want to refactor the code without changing its desired behavior. That's tricky and challenging, right? But we need to make some guesses here, right?
Yeah. Okay, but right now at least it's scaling properly. Maybe I would add additional margin to this menu. Okay, still I think it should be a little bit bigger because on smaller screens it's removed. It's not well visible.
The question is why the page content. Okay, page content has maybe page content has some fixed width. The element inside has some fixed width. Let's see. No.
Can you go to compute?
Computed.
Yeah, computer tab. Maybe here will.
No. Okay, this is the. I think there are a lot of position absolute, maybe. I think the first thing that we should do is to eliminate all position absolute elements, right? Maybe we can go to the source and see if there's any, how many of it we have, right?
Yeah, it will be
Position
faster.
absolute.
Okay.
That's only one.
You know it. Okay, maybe first.
Absolute. Okay,
Do you want? You know, maybe if we could introduce some kind of linter first, and format code to easily search things like a position absolute, because right now it can be with a space, without space, and it's
okay,
hard
so
to.
you suggest to go and check what we have in the build tools, right? Let's see let's see what else. Okay, this is React script, so this is create React app, right? I don't think the author was reconfiguring it. And we have some slint config. I remember that there is no prettier installed by default, but maybe because the prettier overlaps with slint in some cases. So what do we want to do? Do we want to run prettier on everything, or
If prettier is installed, then yeah, I would try
so prettier
to.
isn't installed, I guess.
Okay, so and about
It
slint.
is, but
Okay, it is. And slint is also installed, so maybe
yeah.
it's a matter of configuration. There is prettier JSON file, near to app component.
Near to app.
Lower.
Prettier JSON,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Oh.
The question is if the slint overlaps and
Yeah.
collides
That was.
with prettier. I remember in my company like when I was working previously, it was like a huge challenge to have, to use slint and prettier together with our custom, let's say, decisions in the teams, and how to
Exactly.
make, for example, there was an idea to remove prettier at all and to move all the prettier things to slint custom rules, but then it was so slow that we couldn't work with it because slint is slower. Right?
Yeah, that's right. The way I'm using Prettier, I'm using it for formatting the code. So line length, tab versus spaces, and things like that. But let lslint parse the rules of the code. Yeah, if for example this is specific type or this is specific name or things like that.
Yeah. So you know what? I just run Prettier with my shortcut.
But you run it for one file, yeah? I would like to run it for a whole
Yeah,
project.
I can write it for a whole project. I think in WebStorm there's a nice way to do that. I do the shortcut for the end with selecting the entire folder. So now it's processing everything, including node modules. Yeah, cancel.
Okay,
Maybe
but what about adding some
pre-commit hooks
maybe
or
not pre-commit hook, just a command
command.
package
Okay,
JSON.
okay. Let's try to that. Let's call it format, right?
Yeah, I
Now the
think
question
it
is.
should be prettier, right? That's right.
Let's. I like to check these things. Let's see how they.
I'd rather check it in another project. Yeah,
Okay, so
that's
this
right.
prettier, that's right. Dot.
Yeah, but I
Not
would.
maybe SRC, not
Yeah,
dot.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because dot, it will
Yes. Not
format
what.
all JSON files and things like.
I already saw that it's formatting more than expected.
I think you have to use double quotes in SRC and use dash dot dash for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I am on Windows, but I think it will be in some Git bash shell, maybe, right?
Yeah, and you have to add double quotes. At least it.
Let's you know
Okay.
what? Let's try it without that.
Okay.
New command. New command window. Okay. format.
It's thinking. Okay.
It did because if I remember Bash, dot slash something is only when you want to run the script without telling the binary. Like if you have a script, you do that like dot slash bean slash hello dot
Okay.
sh, and it's only for that. But yeah, and this is run in Bash. Okay, so
Okay.
we have
So
it.
yeah, let's see how it looks like right now.
Okay, now we have it. Right, we don't need to.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe add a commit for that. You know,
Yep,
right?
let's do that. Let's do that. Everything is here, including packagejson format.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would leave it.
I would split it with two commits, by the way. I like to,
Yep. Yep. I agree. One with yeah.
this one I will roll back because it's outside SRC. This as well. This is outside. No,
you see?
it's SRC.
Ah,
Sorry.
yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah. I would leave it. Yeah, we
Good.
can add rules to disable for specific files.
Yeah. So what I want to do, I want to have package.json.
And you're using conventional commits. I see.
Yeah, but I think I abuse it sometimes from time to time. But it's like a habit to have something with colon, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So maybe add a comment, and will speak. I will show what is this. This conventional comments because it's a very good rule, I think, or it's some kind of standard. If you use it, and a lot of people is using this kind of committing.
And what kind of commit type you would give for refactoring, for reformatting?
I would also use char. I don't know how to pronounce it properly because it isn't changing the logic.
Yeah. I heard that if you have some automation tools that they discovered, they need to release something to deploy. If you have only commits with core, they will not do any deploy.
It depends how it's configured.
Yeah, but I've heard this, so it's then I remember that if I want to fix something, but I expect something to be deployed, I try to avoid core, but sometimes you don't have some access to change these tools, right? Behavior, but it might be specific company configuration, right?
It's broader topic, yeah, because for example you can create a separate branch and have multiple commits on that, and then if you'll be merging, then treat it like a change commit message to feature, for example, and then it will be automatically deployed.
The question is feature.json. I think it should be in the root level, right? It's not source file.
Yep.
The question is if there was any need.
Yeah, I
to change
think by default it shouldn't. It isn't used, I think. By default, yeah, because the default path for packagejson is always top root.
So
or you have to maybe
so I have an idea. Let's move it away from SRC. And check if format will change anything.
Yeah.
The easiest way to check it is to move it away, one level up, and then run the format command.
But wait a second, it's still in a SRC. I think you didn't move it.
Oh, what? Wait. Why it wasn't moved? It already exists.
Something isn't refreshed.
Okay, maybe yes, or maybe it wasn't.
Yeah,
there's another file.
I think there's a lag maybe in my screen.
No, it was also in my screen, but now it's okay. It's okay. Here. Let's see if it changed anything. Okay, and nothing was changed because it's all gray. And if you remove it, I think it's by default, right? Now, if you change the format, it will reformat to the different style. No, yes or no? Wow, maybe that was the default. Okay, I don't want to mess with this project too much. I want to make only the necessary changes. So let's remove this packagejson and leave it only on the root level, so someone can continue putting some specific configuration to it. So let's see if it wasn't reloaded. Where is my file?
I think it is. Oh, weird.
It disappeared.
Try to check if you remove it. Maybe in a Git it will be. Yeah, you can revert it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's some luck here in my computer. Okay, so let's just move prettier. Okay, done. Now, so we have this position issue, right? Let's find all the instances. So this is a component. I remember when I initially looked at this. This component is not. This CSS is not in use for the main layout. How we can easily change? How we can easily verify it?
But it's some kind of URL. This is the name, yeah.
In URL, yes,
yes. And there is a CSS class, so I would assume that it's some kind of drop down. So it's not relevant for.
We can see usages in the WebStorm, right, or not? Where is it?
You can't see usages of the file. You have to use by reference.
Find usages of the file here.
Here.
But I need to do it from the this one.
Yep.
Find usages. Okay, so this is our JSX component, which is using it, importing globally, of course. So this component URL, right? Very complex. We try to break it down. Let's see our usages. It's in our home, but it's our, what is the component, that component? Whoa. Okay, this is all one component. So it's somewhere.
Whoa.
It's somewhere. Yeah.
Almost 900.
Yeah. And multiple, duties inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try to remove position absolute from the home CSS, right? Okay, we have okay. This is left column, right column, and what is else?
Remove also this left values because they're
left as well. We will solve with later, right?
Yep.
Absolute. Okay.
And here on the right, display flex, like grow one.
Wait a second. Look, we have left column and left column 2. That means that there is left column. I am searching for left column 2. Left column 2. Left column.
Maybe some kind of mobile menu or mobile version.
Okay, look. This is items. Wow, how to make understand left column? I think that the name is not perfect, right? It doesn't really distinguish between each other. Display animated. What is this? We have a div.
Let's go to the application. I think I know what is this. Maybe it's a second level of this tree node.
Maybe let's search for here. Wait a second.
Did you refresh? It's
it was left column
2.
We have left column only right now, right?
Okay. Let's try to make it smaller.
What do you mean?
Make it smaller, like a application. Yeah, maybe it will appear on mobile view or something like that.
There was a JavaScript that was controlling that class name. You remember?
Yep.
The question is if there was like any mechanism in JavaScript to control mobile. I guess no. But what we can do, we can also, of course, we can analyze the whole 800 lines of code to understand, but sometimes it's easier to just do some experiments in the code and find the answer, right? let's see this left column 2. We are in treatable items 1. You know what? I think I remember already that this was connected to this items. So let's see our let's click our searching, and let's now search for our left column.
Still the same.
Settings.
Oh, completely different.
Left column. Yeah, it looks differently. Okay. Okay. To understand this, we need to, you know, see the logic around treatable items. But we will do that in different time. So let's remove.
I would leave
remove
it.
Yeah.
No, you know, I would leave with position absolute for this.
This one.
Yeah, because if we'll see the error, well, it will,
Yeah.
you know.
Sure, you're right. Okay, so this is our. So let's go back to our initial application, right? So now we are kind of. We are receiving this kind of layout, which is not absolute anymore. But now let's apply this flex thing, right? Let's find the name for treatable items count 1.
You have padding on the right in this, I think, yeah?
Yeah. So let's try to find it. Okay, so this is our. Since this is CSS, I can have one-line comments, not only multiple-line comments. This is page content flex container. I want to put some comments for me and you to not.
Good idea.
Yeah, con1. This is con1. I don't know why there's like 1 and not 1. Maybe there's like, you know, some state that distinguishes the pages, and finally we should separate pages and build them independently, right? But we can understand this after some further analysis, right?
Yeah, okay. And the name is hard to read, yeah? Because there is no spaces like dashes, dots, etc. Yeah, you have to be very careful and read all the letters to understand what is it.
Yeah. So we want to change it. The padding top 30 pixels. I think we will not break the layout, right? Flex direction row. It means okay, and padding left. The question is, if we always want to have 120 pixels on the left side, I guess not, because when this shrinks, we want to consume that space. We can use different flex attributes of the layout to make it looking nice for the centered thing, right?
I will set a minimum width because you have to have minimum width to be it visible, like minor items be visible.
Yeah, but this is pushing. It's hardly pushing to the right. So let's remove it at all, right? Yeah, and if this will be centered, let's try to use some methods to make it centered, not by having paddings. Let's use flexbox for that. I also want to make sure that this thing on the right is also not hard coded. I want this to be on the certain page using flex, but without additional force margins, because they are not responsive at all.
Yeah, it's the table should take all the width, yeah. And if you would like to, make it smaller, we should put it in a container, which will decide on which width should it be rendered.
What is this blue thing on the right? That should be some container, you know?
Go to computed tab in a style.
Yeah,
maybe there will be something. Padding or margin? There is a padding 30 pixels on it, like a.
Oh, maybe this is like just unused space, so this is hard coded. Maybe this. Why there is so much space on the right? Maybe this is still because this table is fixed size. So let's go down. Yeah, because in the layouts you have two ways. Like the size is getting the component or element is getting size of the container. So it's like waiting for parent layout to be calculated, but sometimes you have some fixed layout, fixed size, so parents will wait for you to compute the layout to calculate their layout, right? So that there are two directions. So if I see space that doesn't come from any paddings, I understand that this is maybe because this is stretching and the content is not following the parent, right? This has own size. So let's try to understand this.
One thing, can you go to the code for one moment?
Yeah.
And I would remove flex direction row because this is the default value, and if it's not needed, I will remove
yeah.
it.
And yeah, we are talking about disagreements. I could, for example, here say that if someone created this, maybe the team will struggle because they don't know default values, so they will be less confused by that. So I would say it's okay-ish to me, right? It's okay. I don't ask to remove it because it is more verbose than implicit. But I don't, this is I would allow it to be there. We will not say ask to remove. But this is my take, right? As we discussed in the beginning. So you want this to be removed. Okay, so okay,
yeah.
we can do it.
Yeah, for two things. First of all, you have more code to read. Second one, more code to compile, send to the browser, and things like that. Yeah.
Sure. For sure. Okay, padding top, we can leave it.
Yeah.
And so also, what else?
And also, we can go to the browser and check if it was really important, because maybe it was broken and that's why this property was needed. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
it was overriding something.
Okay. So let's go further with this component element, let's say, right? So this first table thing here, this is something to animate, and this is very small component. Oh, this is the line. Okay, it's some decorator. It's animated, so doesn't matter, I guess. It doesn't have own size, right? In the computer. What is about that? Pagination.
Try to remove the whole page, the whole div. Let's see what will happen.
This one?
No, inside right column.
Okay. Oh yeah. If you remove, we can see if the layout was changed.
Yeah. But go upper. I would remove everything in a right column. Yeah, this one. And let's see how.
Maybe we forgot to add some flex. Flex grow, right?
Okay.
Right
column is with.
Give it like flex grow 1. Okay, now it's okay. Now it's.
Yep. And you have to remove this 72% on the right
column.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's try to fix it. Right column, just removing it, right? You don't.
And add just leave it this flex. I will add this grow 1.
Let's check if there's another selector.
Okay.
Okay, the one. And flex 1, right? Or flex grow. If someone
flex 1. As I remember, it will set more values than this grow.
It depends on. I think it depends of what you put there, but yeah, flex grow is definitely less confusing. Okay, let's refresh the page and let's see what happens. Still.
Okay.
Let's see. Right column is already stretched, and this element has some display flex, and it doesn't follow the parent.
Wait. You have a comma at the end. Is this a problem or not?
No, it's something outcome, something going from render.
It will be treated in a flex as separate element.
Let's try to remove it. I think it was like an orphan somewhere which wasn't supposed to be rendered. Not this.
Maybe you can inspect this.
We can inspect in React basically where it comes from. So this is wait. Context provider.
Okay, maybe you can expect the table,
okay,
yeah,
so home component has to give it after the table. Okay, so table is there.
maybe
right? Table,
yeah.
and after the table, it has to be additional comma. Wait a second. The table is assigned to some variable, right, or not?
No. It's rendered in a div.
So,
Yeah, you have this right column.
Wait a second. If I go back, the table doesn't highlight the colon, the semicolon, so it has to be added by home, right? Or maybe by router. So in the app, let's see the app maybe.
But in a tree, a DOM, it was near to the home.
I am searching for the semicolon here. No. Okay, so let's go back, as you say. What is the best way to spot this? I think what we did with the inspection was the right way to do.
Yeah, maybe there is inside this table.
I will tell you something. If this is in the table, it should be highlighted. It's outside the highlightation, right?
Okay,
so it
maybe
has to be part of home, maybe, right?
Oh, okay, I know. You have to go to the table. I check it already.
Yeah, table. How it could be?
Yeah, go to the table component.
Because this is outside the. Maybe this is fragment with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So what happened here? What happened here? Our component has table has the main element which is related to the DOM. So this is why home. The table. The table highlights only the main DOM element. So if you have fragment with a text, this debugger will not show you these other elements. So nice to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and check, you have empty string at the beginning.
Yeah. So I don't know why. Maybe it was like positioning issue, or sometimes you auto format, and auto format will create additional. Look, if I do like this and like this,
I just would. I just would return consumer in that case.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Right. Without an addition, whatever it was serving for, we should remove it and fix that by CSS, right? Okay, so now we are more close to this.
Okay, something changed now.
Yeah, so now we have this one. I think that the problem is that this one doesn't. Let's see the computer display, because if this is inline block or something like that, or it doesn't grow, it doesn't fill the parent, right? So maybe we should in CSS make it grow, follow the parent, right? Because this is display block. Oh, this is display block. So the div element. So the div element that doesn't stretch to the entire container. How is it possible? Let's remove the style.
And what about second one? Maybe this one, have fix it with. Yeah.
One of children, you say?
No. Yep.
Sometimes it's not even a specific value set in the width by pixels. Sometimes it's like a.
Let's try to add to a parent like with 100%.
We can do that. Like, since there are no margins and like paddings and margins, we can use with 100%, right?
You have also border box sizing. It's no, but for all elements.
Okay, looks like this is static. Like this is like we need to understand the rows.
Okay,
the table. Maybe the table is fixed.
Yeah, I think that each element, each column in a table have fixed width, and then it's calculated because nothing will be bigger than specific value.
So this one. We can go in the easy way and see if there is anything with width in the CSS, right? But there is no fun.
No, I would leave it as it is. I would change only with take one column to take all available place. And it is body well probably because it's the most important.
Blue body.
Yeah, the body tier tag. Yeah, in this case, it is the most important thing. Yeah, you probably would like to write whole text in a body.
Wait. You see, it's highlighting me.
But okay. But no, it's a table.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to verify if the table has any affects it. You know, I am not like experienced in CSS. It's like I need to check in a lot of things. Then
okay, sure.
It's not my first expertise.
But what are you looking for? You have this T head, yeah, this one, and let's search. Can you expand it?
Yeah.
And let's search for this body header.
Body header.
Yeah, expand it. In TR, we will have
TD.
No, higher. TH here, and let's the last one. It will be, yeah.
Last one, what? The last one?
The last element in the last th here, yeah. And let's search for some kind of width here. We have high.
There's nothing like that. Table header group.
Okay, so it's weird. Okay, let's go to T, not T head element, but T body. Maybe there is in there some,
T body.
And check TD, each TD, because you have table
HTD,
TR is a row and TD is each element. And let's check if in any of those you have to check TD. TR is a one row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the table should spread the entire variable space, right? If I remember CSS, right?
Yep, it should.
Okay, maybe let's take another approach. Let's go to the table component. And where is the page? Whoa, okay, we'll talk about that later on. Transition style. We're searching, class name. Tabs, pagination. Okay, maybe go to the table. By the way, because...
okay, I think I check it on my computer. There is a div1 class name in a table.
In a table here.
You can search in a project div1. And you have...
What is div1? Let's search for div1. Okay. Every div inside the table cell.
Yep. Yeah.
So we were almost there.
Yeah, but it's not a proper, HTML syntax, because we can't have block elements in a table.
I think that the author wanted to achieve the layout of the table that can be fixed into to stretch to the container.
Yeah.
So
okay. Right now.
So what is the div1? Maybe we can remove this at all, right? It's row. What is the definition of div1? Width, height, overflow, hidden. Okay, this is for ellipses. It's for ellipses. Overflow hidden, but it doesn't have to be specific height and width. It doesn't need to have it, right?
It depends. If you
want to have overflow ellipses, it doesn't need it doesn't need to have specific height. We can remove it and fix the layout in the top, and still have overflow hidden with ellipses. So removing that. Padding, we can leave padding as it's not absolute hard-coded value to set the size. Now it's much more what we wanted. The question is how we could make the table fitting the flexbox, right? So if we have table, what could be best?
I would set limitations for TD elements.
Set limitations?
So for example, the name column should have like a 150 pixels. Yeah, and let's spread only the body, like I take all the width.
But what if we just ask the table to fill the container, like with 100%?
But then you have to think what is important in this screen, yeah, because well, probably is the name the most important? Is the
okay? You say that it should be,
you know, for user, yeah? Which information for the user is the most important?
Yes, I understand. And you want to, but wait, we could do with, I think, call groups or stuff like that, or CSS that is saying the proportions of the columns. It should be some columns specification, not TDs.
You know, we can go with two ways. We can write everything using divs, and then use flexbox and etc. Or you add width to column elements. Because otherwise you have to disable all default column behavior to be like a block or flex. And
but wait, if I go to CSS table column widths specifications, right? Table layout fixed and with 100% maybe. If we do it like this?
Okay. I never used table layout.
I never use tables. No, kidding. I think that the table layout was the answer. Table layout fixed, and okay, but width is 100%. But width is 100%. But what is the class of this? I mean, what is the display? This is display. Okay, this is display block.
Yeah,
and this is what is this thing? What is the this is like tabs. I don't know what is this. What is tabs?
It's.
I think it's not. Maybe some animation is. Or
it's an empty element.
Oh, this is tabs maybe.
Where? I don't.
Pagination table tabs. Okay, let's search for the element tabs in the component. Tabs. Class name. Display animated. I am worried about having this animated connections to the markup. It's somehow something. It has to be mixed here, and we want to clear that and to put away. So there's some animation. Okay.
Yeah, I would leave it for now. Okay. Yeah, because it's hard coded.
So if this is right, this is. I want to make sure that this can grow. Maybe we'll do a space.
Yeah. But right now it should be growing. Yeah. Let's try to make it bigger.
Okay, it's not growing. Okay, it's already consuming the body is the last, right?
Yeah, but I would just do one thing. I would make it small. These ID columns, because
yeah. Okay, so what we did, we already table. We removed this size.
Search for dot table class. I think there was something like
table
that.
Table container. Wait a second. Let's search it again for the table. Table style. Okay, this is our section.
Table 1 table. You see in a styles.
Table 1 table. Okay. Table 1. Basic table. Okay, this is a mixin.
Okay.
In some other, no, it's still in the table CSS. Why this is a mixin? Let's see how many times it's used. Okay, so used only once. Okay,
but
tabs. So this is our table here, right?
Yep.
So Make it
flex. Yeah, with and flex table flex.
table layout fixed.
Yep.
I am not sure if having table with 100% here is the best place to define it, because the table could be maybe.
One thing, you have to change margin to padding in that matter.
Yeah. Do we need this? Do we need this at all? Wait. What is this margin for?
Because I think that with in a anti-margin will
calculate against different parent size.
Yeah, I would leave top and bottom margin, but I would move left and right to the padding.
Let's see. But the question is, do we need this? I mean, maybe we can simplify the overall.
Oh, and you see, right now it's you don't have scroll bar on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. The question. Okay. So let's say that our layout is a bit fixed now, right? Now the question is, this should be more. Should it grow or not? Because I remember the initial version was kind of having this in the center, right?
Yeah.
So and maybe this table shouldn't grow, that much, or we want to have some.
I would hard code the width for this left menu, because it has to have specific width to be visible. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if it will be bigger or not, because those elements won't be like easier to check, yeah, or see.
What is width? Okay, this width. By the way, this should be also removed, right? Left column with 16%. What this is, but remove. What is the so this is the minimum. This is automatic. This is calculated automatically, or this is like we set it like minimum value. No.
But maybe inside there is some kind of.
But maybe this shrinks. This is flex grow 1, and this flex shrink 0.
Yeah, but the question is why those elements, aren't visible properly. Yeah.
Because they are shrinked.
But it should be like that, yeah, that all of the elements will be visible, but if you make it smaller, table is taking more place and elements aren't visible.
Now now they don't shrink. In CSS is flexbox, you can have, let this column grow.
Okay.
And this, okay. But then the layout of the element is flexible. It can, have some minimum size and size that can follow and share the space of the flex layout. But if you do, if we stop shrinking the element by setting flex shrink 0, it will always have. It will not let, for example, the item labels to break the line. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's make this left column flex shrink 0. Right. Let's check it. So now whatever is here,
yeah, try to make it smaller. Yeah, it's working great.
Yeah, we don't want to fix all the issues, because this table wasn't also looking good for this screen, but at least my thing. The question is, let's say if I go back to the author, will he be satisfied with this? Because maybe the answer was like, I wanted this to be centered, right? So maybe make a maximum size of the table as well, and then if this all has additional space, make it distribute the space evenly or around elements. I remember Flexbox has these features, right? So I want to make sure this column has, let's say, what is the size of this column right now? Let's make it maximum 1000 pixels, okay? Right column, where is the right column? Max width, 1000 pixels, right? So now how it will look like? Yeah, and now I think Flexbox can allow us to make it centralized. Let's check if we can do that. What was the class name for it?
I don't remember.
This one, treatable.
No, let's check in a DOM.
Yeah. So this one is treatable items. Yeah, treatable items
yeah.
1. Treatable items con 1. So this one. Yes, page content fixed flex container. I think it will be
Align
flex.
items.
Yeah, something like align items. Not
content or
items. Items is for cross file.
Let's check it in a browser. It will be faster.
I think it's space around, like this. Align items or.
Yeah, let's go with that. If not, we'll check it. Change it.
Okay, let's check it here. Where is it?
Upper.
It doesn't. Yeah. It's here. Space around. What does it say? Flex wrap? No. So I think this is distrib.
There is somewhere flex wrap, no wrap property somewhere. Yeah.
Wait. Let's ask CSS flex distribute around.
No, but you had like there is no wrap property somewhere.
But we don't want to wrap it, right?
But it's
justified. This is justify content, not align content. Just justify content.
But I mean there is a try to revert and read this clue from the browser, and you'll get what I mean.
Say again.
Refresh the page and read the clue from the browser.
From this.
Go to align content and flex wrap no wrap property. So it's set somewhere.
It's okay. I get it. It's but
I think anyway we should use just justify content.
Yeah, justify content and not space around.
But center.
Yeah. And then we can put a gap between in the flex box. So it will be justify content center, and our gap will be. This is a new thing, but it's supported in all browsers right now, right? Let's say 30 pixels, for example. If you already use pixels, let's use pixels. So now our layout looks good. Do we want to break this to have this wrap thing to fix it? Like wrap?
No wrap.
No wrap. Table CSS. Div 1. But this is for div 1. So let's.
Okay, but it was for overlapping the text inside. I would leave
it. So what we can do?
I would leave it for now. Yeah, because
wrap. Let's see if this works, or this will break the even first line. No, it should now break the new line. Yeah, and in this case, maybe this should be what if we do with this element?
No. I would set it to no wrap, because we don't want to we would like to have a menu always on the left and table on the right, and both elements centered. Yeah. So we don't want to overlapping. If the space is too low.
So we want to not wrap it, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think that this layout issue we can say it's improved. Okay. It's still some work to do. Maybe there should be some design, consideration how to change it. But now it doesn't have anti-patterns in CSS, right? Yeah. We have flexbox with some. To sum up, we have flexbox. We have 2 columns. This one doesn't shrink. This one grows as much as possible, but the element has some max width applied, so it shrinks. But if it cannot shrink anymore, the parent will now find some additional space. And by setting justify content, we can say what to do with that space to centerize the content. So we can say done, right? Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me commit that.
So yeah, we finished refactoring this view. What we could do next then?
I think that because we just saw it after logging in. Let's maybe try to explore the application to learn it a bit more, to understand what is aiming to achieve. And I think that there are two ways. We can go through the UI and see layout issues or CSS issues or some bugs. This is also possible, but we can also try to statically analyze the code. So we open the index, JS file and see what is the main structure of the application, right? So there are two approaches. We just logged into the application, so it was very, it was kind of making us curious about this layout. Maybe I would also try to solve also one thing, which is CSS related. I don't know if you see it, but when I hover this row in the table, it hurt my eyes that this number or this row content, text content, it's not visible, not accessible during the transition. For me, it disappears. I mean, nice transition. Maybe don't remove this requirement. Let's say that the owner, the creator of the application, really wanted to have this nice transition, but the numbers, the values here, they are not visible during the first half of transition. I think the reason is that the row has transition in the background, but the text, it switches between black and white immediately without the transition.
Yep.
So let's try to see how this would look like when we add the transition also to the text, right? So I highlight this element, highlight the row, because row will receive some transitions, right? And let's maybe make it with fourth state hover, right? And so we have some CSS applied.
Can you expand this tab, whole tab, it's CSS? Make it bigger. Yep.
Yeah, so we have TR, which is already hovered. The question is, maybe this is the background of the cell, not for the TR. It's for the cell for sure.
Yeah, so I think let's check without the
transition. Okay, the D has transition, but the D transition is for the background, right?
Let's wait for a moment. We have the green class name, but nowhere there is a green color.
Yeah, I already checked it in previous before.
You have in a pagination CSS background color green.
Yeah, so we can talk about that in the later part, but I think, this is my guess, the author created the page with the green, green theme and wanted to somehow make this kind of white labeling. So the class name was, green, and there was no other good name to assign. So you see the green in the class name, which is not proper, because we shouldn't. We should identify our elements by the role, by the semantics, the meaning, not by the current value. Because if you see, there's a color themes, right?
Yeah. What if you change to this blue, for example? Yeah. Then this green will become blue right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we see the body, I think is somewhere in the body, or what? Let's search for blue. Let's say blue.
Actual.
Or green. Let's go to the.
No, I think it was actual. Yeah. Because it's a actual element. I think not actual class name.
Green.
No, not green. Actual. Yep. Background color blue.
Okay, so this is the rule that is changed when you change the theme, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or okay.
Or not. Let's see what is the CSS behind the row, right? Why it's okay. So
it's a number.
Color for set. Okay. We can see later that this is changing the class name for the entire
gotcha.
body.
Yep.
Yeah. Here this element is color for set. This is color one set.
Yep.
This is color four set, color three set, right? And here, if in our CSS, we have some iteration. Here is part of what? is part of
home CSS.
Yeah, whole CSS, and then we have color I set, and then you have unwhite, white, green. So yeah, this is kind of override model, but especially in React application, we should maybe use CSS variables with the variable. You can set variable to the CSS by the state of React.
I would define. Okay, we can cover it later on because it's a very broad topic.
Yeah, how to name the white labeling elements, right? So it shouldn't be like green, white, unwhite. It should be like primary, secondary, something like that.
And with context text or background color.
Exactly. I think that the best thing to follow is I think something for material design that they have primary, secondary, background alt, alternate, border. So this is all that has a meaning, and you just play with the value that doesn't make this name irrelevant.
Exactly, because when you change the theme, then for example from dark to light, or then your primary will.
It's confusing.
We have, if you use values like a primary, secondary, and so on, then primary will have different value, and you don't have to change anything in your code.
Yeah, but it's worth to mention how this is like a very smart way to do this, because you have some.
I would leave it for now. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Let's decide what on which topic we'd like to focus. Do you want to do a design system and fix things like that, or we would like to go?
No, let's go with this thing. We just stopped here with this color, right? Because we just discovered it during our.
Yep.
Let's go back. So it was not green, right? Yeah. Not green. Actually, it's not green. So here you see we play with the background color, but the transition. We know that the color is changed from the other rule in the table, but the transition is about background. What if we add color? I don't know if it's after comma.
I don't remember the.
I think like this. First of all, let's check how this will work. Okay, as you see now, their transition is for both elements, so it doesn't jump and become invisible. It's only invisible in the middle, because when the dark is going to light, in the middle is, let's say, semi-light, and light going to dark in the middle is also semi-light. So what I would suggest is to make the animation follow the standard, so it's too long. The transition should be like 300 milliseconds, and that's it.
Or points.
2 or point 2. And then and then it really is nicely animated. You feel like it's smooth, but you don't even notice that something was really inaccessible, right? So I think this is how this should look like, right?
Okay. Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah. So this is what I would choose for transition when you do transition for the text and the background. Okay, let's make a fix. Better accessible transition for table row.
Okay, I think we can finish. We did a lot. Refactor mostly CSS for now, but let's stay with us. In next videos we'll do more refactor, especially with the code little bit, architecture, and more complex things.
We will also simplify usages of the libraries, so we will see very simple 3 lines of code instead of plenty that makes a lot of magical code, because we will show how to make use of the API which is recommended, other than using some low-level accessing that is also problematic.
And we'll also comment what are the best practices, or what you should fix to don't have problems in the future. So stay with us. If you have any comments, something was unclear for you, let's comment it. Let's subscribe to see next videos, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye.